You're insane.
Does it really matter? There are alternate versions of me that you would find quite charming.
You know Batman's origin by heart? He fights for justice, and yeah, on occasion he'll break the law or bend the rules to enforce it. But what about the Batman who looked the other way or crossed the line? We're exploring the versions that sought vengeance over justice, and the moments when Batman took a turn to the dark side. Now there are countless evil variants of Batman in the comics, but today, let's focus on their appearances in TV shows and films. To find out about their different on-screen storylines, I'll be your guide as we delve into the evolution of evil Batmans through the decades. Batman is always several steps ahead, ready for the next fight, and equipped with the right tools to handle it. But speaking of the right tools, give me a moment to welcome back Opera, the sponsor of today's video. Opera is a web browser packed with features that make everyday browsing way easier. One of my favorites is Tab Islands, which finally fixes the problem of having 20 tabs open at once. I can group them into categories, name the tabs, and choose a color, but I can also expand and collapse them whenever I don't need them. So I've got my tabs organized just how I want them. What's next? Well, there's also a split screen, which lets me use 4 tabs at the same time. I can't tell you how many times I bounce back and forth between tabs, hoping to split my screen. Well, now I can, and it just makes work and entertainment so much easier. Simply drag your tabs down, and your screen will split up to 4 ways. And last up is Opera's powerful AI. It's free, doesn't need an account, and works on any page. It's a convenient way to ask questions while working, and great for quick research, summaries on endless text, or pulling info on characters without breaking my workflow. So if you want a browser that keeps things fast, organized, and simple, click the link in the description and download Opera for free today. Number 1. 60s Batman. Let's start with the one no one expected to cross the line, the bright, quippy crusader from the 60s. That show played like a live-action comic strip, but evil wasn't always on the menu. He did get tricked by crooks here and there, sure, but the tone always snapped him back to wholesome. Then a half a century later, the same world changed that outlook. Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders takes Adam West's Batman and gives him a real turn. It starts with the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman swiping a temporary replication ray. Batman tries to stop them, only to end up strapped into an oversized oven. After Catwoman scratches him with the Batnip,
"Don't worry, old chum. My moral fiber is stronger than any substance the she-devil might concoct."
he escapes, but not clean as the scratch slowly turns him to evil. He fires Alfred, pushes Robin away, and his charm goes cold.
Now!
Later on a mission to space to hunt down the trio, Batman beats them senseless without restraint.
Let's get nuts.
And returns to Earth. With a complete evil takeover, he turns the replication ray on himself, and suddenly, Gotham fills with Batman. Officers, judges, wardens, politicians, replaced by copies in cowl and cape. His plan scales fast, secure the city, then the globe.
Batman will be running this town, and eventually, the world.
Robin clocks the Batnip corruption and scrambles a cure with Catwoman. Batman sees it coming, having drank a Bat anti-antidote, so he stops them both and leaves them behind to die. His clone army locks Gotham under Bat law, where allies fall and rogues fold. But Alfred slips through with a stronger antidote, which clears Bruce's head as the duplicates crumble into dust. Number 2. DCAU Batman. Then came the iconic universe that took a darker tone and helped the Dark Knight stand out in animation. In Batman the Animated Series, a robotic duplicate of Batman awakens and seeks answers. He learns he's tied to Hardak, a machine bent on swapping people with perfect duplicates. He patches himself with a repair chip, but that small fix drags in the Hardak's directive, replace humanity.
Your memory systems have now been reconfigured. You now house my command files. We are Hardak.
He raids the Batcave systems to gain access to global doors and pushes towards the countdown. Although he wins his first rematch with Batman, Because he fights like Bruce without the fear of injury, his programming hits a wall when the mission demands a kill. When he believes Batman has died in the fight,
I've taken a life.
the robot breaks from Hardak's logic and ends it with a sacrifice to stop the upload. Then we jump to Justice League, where we witness Batman turning the other way. However, it's another Earth, another team, where these heroes call themselves the Justice Lords. Their tipping point begins in the Oval Office. Superman executes Lex Luthor for killing the Flash and is convinced that the cycle of his tyranny will never stop. Normally, Bruce would pull him back because he crossed the line. Instead here, he doesn't.
Well, it had to be done.
2 years pass, and they run the planet. While their suits look sharper, the streets are quieter with Gotham looking like a polished metropolis. Under Lord Batman's watch, crime drops because choice disappears. With order cemented and boredom creeping, Lord Batman creates an interdimensional portal, and the Lords spot a familiar problem, a Justice League that still hesitates.
It's just like ours.
Almost. But their Flash is still alive. So's their Luthor.
The Lords lock the League down and take control for them. Lord Batman handles their imprisonment.
One question. Why? Because you and your friends couldn't do what needed to be done.
But Flash's deception becomes his downfall. He eventually tracks his doppelganger to the Batcave, where a heated debate convinces Batman to surrender.
You grabbed power, and with that power, we've made a world where no 8-year-old boy will ever lose his parents.
He helps send the League home, not out of hope, but because he finally recognizes the error of control he built. Number 3. The Batman. Now comes the series that gave us 3 crooked mirrors of the Dark Knight. The first was unexpected, but not unwelcome. A figure in a bat suit roughs up an innocent man, and when the real Batman confronts him, he finds the Joker wearing a custom cowl.
Then Joker thought, if he couldn't beat the Bat, he'd be the Bat.
He starts enforcing the law with his own rules, as petty offenses become targets. He threatens the mayor for a salary and city protection, even threatening the mayor's wife to force compliance.
$1 million? What? Crime fighting ain't charity work, you know.
Batman steps in, and Joker flips the script with venom that sends Bruce toward a Joker-like state and a lethal countdown. While the parallels between the two Batman are uncanny, their battle wages on, and the real Batman beats the clock to get the last laugh. Then a new thief appears who moves exactly like Batman. Same stance, same strikes, and you would think it's another robot again. But after a battle, he disappears and escapes via a mirror. Batman closes in on the truth that his moves were mirrored. Where the Flash arrives with a key detail, Mirror Master is behind recent robberies and has discovered how to create solid constructs from energized reflections.
It looks like he's discovered a way to capture someone's reflection and turn it into a 3-dimensional henchman. One that can escape through mirrors too.
The counterfeit Batman is a 3-dimensional echo where, during a rematch, the duplicate shatters like glass. Finally, Wrath and Scorn roll into town. They are strikingly similar to the dynamic duo, except for one key difference. They help Gotham's criminals and hunt Batman for revenge tied to their parents' past.
So what do you think? Alternate versions of us from a parallel universe? Or maybe our matter-antimatter twins?
You've been reading too many comic books.
Wrath feels in sync with Batman, almost as if Batman might have met his match. Discovering who's under the mask, he and Scorn raid the Batcave, trying to end their legacy. Batman and Robin hold the line and emerge victorious, but Wrath threatens to expose their identity.
But I swear, I'll never tell a soul if you just let us go.
But that really would destroy everything I am.
Joker, however, gasses them to keep them quiet and leave Batman for himself. Number 4. The Brave and the Bold Batman. This show takes a lighter tone, but still corrupts him on several occasions with magic, masks, and identity flips. The first is when Merlin drags Batman and Green Arrow into a medieval quest for Excalibur. Morgan Le Fay tags Batman with a spell and turns him into an armored enforcer.
I have no intention of stopping him at all. In fact, I want the Dark Knight to reach his destiny.
From there, it's a sprint to the sword. He clashes with Green Arrow and fights with ruthless efficiency. The duel turns grim on a cliff, where Batman stomps on Arrow's hand and lets him fall to his apparent doom. With his rival gone, he heads for Excalibur, until Merlin silently flips the hex. Batman then fakes his loyalty, cuts her string, and the knight goes back to being a detective. Then the face he uses for undercover work becomes a problem. At Two-Face's black market auction, Bruce poses as mob boss Matches Malone to reclaim a magical cat cloak.
Everything depends on us playing our parts perfectly. From this moment on, I'm Matches Malone, and you're my bodyguards.
A blow to the head scrambles him as he becomes his undercover identity. He outs his supposed allies, steals the cloak, and builds a crew out of Two-Face's muscle.
How'd you like to work for the new top crime boss in Gotham? I'll match whatever Two-Face is paying and double it.
The cloak's 9 lives let him die and reboot, so his crime spree snowballs. Even villains get robbed as Matches rises the ranks in the underworld. Catwoman, Black Canary, and Huntress try to snap him out of it, but fail. He flips the trap on them, baiting Batman for a final showdown.
He'll come to rescue you, I'll whack him, and bada boom bada bing, I'll have complete control of Gotham.
But the Dark Knight who arrives turns out to be Two-Face. Following their fight, Catwoman instinctively shoves Matches off the ledge, so his last life burns, forcing Batman to snap back. Then, a decade-long grudge fuels the last turn. Riddler once exposed Batwoman's identity, so wanting revenge, she lures Batman into a ritual and swaps their minds. In Bruce's body, she plans Riddler's death and wants Batman blamed, but acts completely out of character.
Darling, I don't have to answer to you. I'm Batman.
Did he just call you darling?
She telegraphs murder instead of justice, revealing her plan, but ends up getting caught. Eventually, a second casting returns both minds to their rightful homes just before the trap dissolves Batman's body. Number 5. Owlman. Earth 3's Batman throws the rulebook into a fire and watches it burn. No code, no conscience, only leverage. Owlman runs with the crime syndicate, who have easily taken over their world. In The Brave and the Bold, his Injustice Syndicate dominates their Earth, and he makes an example of Red Hood by throwing him in a chemical bath.
After the makeover I gave you, I thought you would have wised up by now.
I guess I'll always be a little screw loose.
He hijacks a phase oscillator to travel through dimensions, where he slips into the Batcave and confronts Batman when Red Hood calls for help. When Batman traps him, Owlman pivots his strategy. He steals his face, frames Batman for crimes, and turns contingency plans into ambush maps. He even gathers Gotham's rogues by speaking their language, profit, pride, and a shot at Batman.
Seems they wanted to see all of you iced too. So I repeat, give me the phase oscillator or the heroes die.
Then the ambition scales. In Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, he learns the multiverse isn't just a theory, but a reality. The Syndicate wants a fear bomb, he wants annihilation.
After all, what good is a bomb if you don't detonate it?
A quantum trigger keyed to a specific Earth can end every possible reality, and only Superwoman knows he's aiming past intimidation. He arms the device on Earth Prime.
You're talking about killing
everyone who ever lived, whoever will live.
And meets Batman in a duel of equals, skill, counters, until he prevails. Batman loses tactically, but wins with sleight of hand, forcing the detonation where it hurts no one. Owlman dies to his own certainty, convinced that choice is a joke unless you can end all choices. Now there's one more lap through catastrophe. In another Crisis film, the Flash lands on Earth 3, where he meets the Syndicate, while reality starts to peel away under an antimatter wave.
Fight like hell!
You're a strategist. This is a stupid and useless gesture.
Perhaps.
Owlman treats it like a battle he can outthink, firing missiles at a cosmic eraser. When that fails, he arms a bomb and vaporizes himself in a foolish move that changes nothing as the Earth gets eradicated. Number 6. Vampire Batman. So what counts as evil when the thirst isn't a choice? In The Brave and the Bold, Batman teams up with Etrigan on a vampire hunt and gets bitten. The change is immediate in the shadows and slow in the conscience. He moves faster, hits harder, and starts feeding. Black Mass falls first, and even Alfred isn't safe. He calls an emergency meeting on the Watchtower, seats the Justice League, then cuts the power to trap them overnight.
When the lights went out, it was due to more than a simple fuse, and until it's repaired, we'll all be spending the night together.
Fear is part 1, feeding is part 2. He drops Martian Manhunter with moves he couldn't land as a man, controls Aquaman into standing still, and works down the table until each hero is under his influence. They eventually form a shield around him and swarm Jean.
We'll finish with you and turn our attention to Earth. Billions to feed on.
But he pivots the station's orbit, allowing sunlight into the windows to burn off the curse. Then came Justice League Gods and Monsters, which flips the origin. Bruce never dons the cowl. Kirk Langstrom does. Cancer pushes him to splice a bat-based cure with his friend Will's nanites. It stabilizes the pain, but sparks a need for blood. With new abilities, he becomes Batman and joins a league that ends threats by any means necessary. It's his choice as he feeds on or executes criminals, so long as it serves justice.
Too bad the movie's over.
Nice little bloodbath. Was this really necessary?
Technically, we're not the police.
When the streets go quiet, he drinks synthetic plasma to temporarily satisfy his cravings. Ultimately, a plot to frame the Justice League forces a rethink of lethal justice.
Change the way we do things. No more politics. No more killing.
Seriously?
Something to think about.
But his cravings don't get a vote. Number 7. Young Justice Batman. Now comes the hit series that explores the repercussions of Batman's actions and shows the fallout. Season 1 plants that idea following a simple recovery mission. The League grabs a case of alien organic starotech from a supervillain organization called the Light and brings it to the Watchtower. The real play then shifts to the Mole. Red Arrow slips those same chips onto League members.
This biocircuitry is disturbingly sophisticated.
I'll take that as a no.
Turning them into remote assets for Vandal Savage. The team of former sidekicks infiltrates the Watchtower, where the core League members battle their own protégés. Batman goes hand to hand with Robin, but with no chance at victory, a partner swap allows Robin to administer the cure. The Light retreats, but then there's the unanswerable question, what happened during their 16-hour blackout? 5 years pass, and Season 2 flips the answer. 6 Leaguers are considered wanted criminals following an intergalactic incident. Nightwing connects the dots fast. Batman and the others are the same 6 who were gone.
These exact 6 Leaguers went missing for 16 hours.
Never even occurred to us that Vandal might have sent us into space.
After some investigating, those members spent 16 hours on Rimbor, rampaging through the alien world, attacking anyone in their path and causing chaos. The League chooses a peaceful response. They go to Rimbor, submit to trial, and make a clean case to gain their freedom. Behind the scenes, the team manipulates the Light to obtain evidence, which clears the League, but the stain doesn't vanish. Number 8. Flashpoint Batman. So what happens when Batman doesn't have a code? Is he evil? Or has he crossed a line that's impossible to return from? Flashpoint gives us the answer. Reverse Flash manipulates Barry to save his mom, as Flash resets his timeline, and a new history takes shape. In this world, Crime Alley ends with Bruce dead on the pavement. Thomas pounds the killer to a pulp, and Martha's grief breaks into laughter that drives her to insanity. Thomas becomes Batman, while Martha becomes this timeline's Joker. He prowls Gotham, driven by vengeance to kill every criminal he encounters. One night, he hunts Yo-Yo for Joker's location after Judge Harvey Dent vanishes.
Tell me where the Joker's funhouse is this time. Judge Dent was kidnapped last night. Where did the Joker take him?
She's evasive, so he tosses her off a roof without thinking twice. Cyborg swoops in and saves her.
Batman! You should have let her hit the pavement.
You shouldn't have thrown her.
She slipped.
Then lays out the bigger problem. Atlantis and Themyscira are on a collision course for World War III. Cyborg wants Batman in the Resistance, but Thomas doesn't do teams. Not until Barry arrives, where he learns about a world where his son lives, helps Barry regain his powers, and joins the Alliance.
Bruce would have come.
What the hell? Let's do this.
They move on to Europe, where Amazon and Atlantean lines tear the land apart. Thomas fights like a brawler with a surgeon's aim, trades blows with Aquaman, and kills Black Manta. He gets injured, but a doomsday device is primed to erase it all. Reverse Flash blocks Barry at every turn, preventing him from resetting the timeline. Thomas steps in, lines up the shot, and ends Eobard with a single round. The chance to bring Bruce back.
The only way to save the world is to keep this world from ever happening.
And bury the vengeful man Thomas had become. Number 9. Beware the Batman. Now we hit a story where someone weaponizes the cowl to make Batman the villain. At Harvey Dent's campaign event, a Batman steps out of the crowd, punches Commissioner Gordon, and shoots Bruce Wayne on stage. Katana intervenes.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
Trades blows, but he vanishes clean. Back at the Batcave, Alfred and Katana discover Bruce survived the shot. He's alive and ready to hunt the man who tried to kill him.
He's mixing styles on the fly. That's how he predicted my moves. He knew them.
Yes, but to do that requires a mastery of each discipline.
The imposter escalates. He ambushes cops with guns and grenades to mark his territory. Bruce's death gives Harvey legal cover to declare martial law and to build a joint task force with a single mission: arrest Batman. The imposter crashes Bruce's funeral and sprays the mourners, then vanishes into traffic. The real one responds with a high-speed pursuit that burns through Gotham streets. The trail leads to the Gotham Armory, where Batman crosses paths with Task Force Captain Dane Lislow. Batman plays along, but he's already clocked Dane's facade.
Why are you doing this?
I told you, Wayne was a friend.
Then why did you kill him?
He's the shooter and the imposter. Dane bolts to suit up, and the two Batman collide. The copy fights like muscle memory, but Batman drags him into tight quarters and forces the truth out. Dane confesses he was forced to frame Batman because Deathstroke has his son. He tries to end it with a bomb and dies in the blast. Then the truth is unveiled. Dane Lislow never existed. He's Slade Wilson.
Why are you researching Slade Wilson?
Dane Lislow is likely Slade Wilson in disguise.
Alfred's rash former protege and the assassin called Deathstroke. The triple mask, Deathstroke, Dane, and Batman, was a long-planned operation to smoke out Alfred's new protege Bruce and prove he's better.
A grand performance that ends with everything twisted to Slade's satisfaction. Slade becomes Batman and usurps Bruce as Alfred's favored son.
Number 10. DCAMU Batman. Now this universe tightens the screws by breaking Batman from the inside and testing how much of him can be replaced before the mission collapses. It threads through multiple films, and each step pushes him closer to serving someone else's plan. Batman Bad Blood opens with Batman saving Batwoman from supervillains, battling Heretic, and an explosion where Gotham assumes he's dead. He isn't. Talia al Ghul has him strapped to strip his will and align him with the League of Shadows.
Push past the trauma to the child he was before he lost his parents. And then he'll be ours.
The Bat family rescues him, but he returns altered.
But when she's done, that's it. But we have to. You're not Batman anymore, Dick. I call the shots around here.
At the Wayne Peace Summit, Talia begins her real plan: brainwash world leaders to plant the League everywhere. Bruce knocks out Alfred, and the mask of everything is fine cracks. When the Bat family hits the summit, a brainwashed Batman engages Nightwing in combat. With no code, he dislocates Nightwing's shoulder and prepares to finish him with a gun. Nightwing delivers a powerful speech about family.
You brought us all together because you understood our pain better than anyone could. We needed family. We needed you.
Which cuts through the brainwashing and helps him reset to help stop Talia. Justice League vs. Teen Titans throws a different ball when Trigon attempts to possess the League. Batman calculates he can't win that war, so he injects Bane toxin to put himself in a coma. It's ugly, and it works because the alternative was worse. While the others become Trigon's blunt instruments, Batman opts out of becoming an evil pawn in helping his conquest of Earth. Then came the end in Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Darkseid spies on the Justice League's invasion plan to kill him and turns the ambush into a slaughter. Survivors scatter, Batman doesn't. He's mentally tortured to become Darkseid's right-hand man, overseeing Earth's core harvest, coordinating with Lex Luthor, and helping enslave other planets.
My business is ensuring that Darkseid's vision is executed so his reign spreads to every corner of the galaxy.
2 years later, when a new team reaches Apokolips to stop Darkseid, Batman taunts his son Damian and beats him with nothing holding him back. The blade hovers, but his trauma cracks the control, and he attacks Darkseid. In the fallout, Earth is ruined, and one choice remains. So the Flash runs and resets the timeline. Number 11. Titans Batman. The series closes the door on Batman and lets fear do the talking. We never see his face. We only get the fallout through Dick Grayson, who's living a very comfortable life. Jason Todd shows up with bad news. Jim Gordon is dead, the Joker did it, and Bruce is ready to break his code.
First Alfred dies, and then this, and now Commissioner Gordon. It's like something inside of him just snapped. Whatever was holding them together is gone.
Dick heads to Gotham to stop him and finds Joker broken on a car, but still alive. He later heads to the hospital, but Batman gets there first. The Joker dies, and Batman vanishes into the night. From there, it escalates.
Apparently, your old friend figured why stop at the Joker.
Not only do supervillains turn up dead, but Arkham inmates and staff too. Feeling that he's too far gone, Dick pushes for a takedown and helps the police. GCPD raids Wayne Manor and breaches the Batcave. Batman treats it like a siege, so he clears the room with brutal efficiency, and the floor runs red. He triggers planted charges and brings the house down on Bruce, so when the dust settles, Batman is barely breathing. Dick walks over, and in a single motion, snaps his neck. Then the scene shifts. It was all a trap by Trigon, a nightmare lodged in Dick's head to welcome the darkness. Ironically, when Jason dies for real in Season 3, Bruce does what the dream foreshadowed and murders the Joker.
He laughed at me because he won. You and Barbara were right. It's all a game I should have stopped playing a long time ago.
Number 12. Crisis on Infinite Earths Batman. Now the Arrowverse drops us into a crossover event. When the end of the multiverse approaches because of an antimatter wave, Batwoman and Supergirl are sent to Earth 99. They must locate the Paragon of Courage, who is a bat of the future, and they expect a legend eager to help. Instead, they find a man held together by braces and bitterness, who cataloged every injury and lost count of the reasons to care.
You're a broken, pissed-off old hermit, waiting to die in this 11-bedroom, 7-bath coffin?
Here's the thing. In this world, Bruce crossed the line once and never came back. One kill became a method, and that turned into a kill chain.
It's like a wise man once said, battle not with monsters, lest you become a monster.
Gotham became terrorized by him, so when Kate calls him a paragon, he laughs it off like a bad joke and says worlds like his aren't worth saving. But it gets worse. Supergirl finds out the truth. He fought Superman and killed him, framing it as necessary.
How is he a threat?
Strange visitor from another planet comes to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men.
The exoskeleton he wears isn't armor, it's the aftermath of that fight. He keeps Kryptonite close and uses it the second Kara challenges him. Kate steps in, blocks the attack, and drives him into a live generator where the current ends him fast. Number 13. Red Sun Batman. Now we land in the USSR that shaped his destiny. In this world, Superman grows into the state symbol, a polished and political answer to chaos. Batman rises from what that symbol overlooks. As a child in a secret gulag, he sees the cost of order as his parents die from being overworked.
They say you can hear a leaf fall 1,000 miles away. And you never heard our cries?
Even after Superman frees the prisoners and replaces Stalin, the damage sticks. The boy grows into a rebel who treats restraint as a luxury the oppressed never had. His methods are blunt. He recruits loyalists and turns sabotage into a language. The target is clear: topple Superman's rule, expose the myth, and make the public see the fear behind it. With quiet help from President Lex Luthor, he builds a trap that hits Superman at his core, with Wonder Woman bound by her own lasso as bait.
What do you want?
What I've wanted since I was a child. To break and utterly humiliate the great Superman.
Red sun lamps cover the room, draining Superman's powers. Batman doesn't waste time. He drives strikes into the man who can finally feel them, then seals him underground for later. The uncontrollable variable is Diana. She tears herself free from her own lasso, at a cost, and shatters the generators. The red light dies, and Superman surges back. However, Batman's endgame is constant.
Game's over, Batman.
You don't understand at all, do you? It may be a game to you, but not to me.
He won't be remade, caged, or lobotomized to do Superman's bidding. So he triggers the bomb he planted in himself and exits on his own terms. Number 14. Arkham Series Batman. Our last stop takes us away from TV and film and into controllers. The Arkham timeline built a Batman across years of games, hinting at a paranoia, obsession, and sacrifice, but always within a code. Then a spin-off shifted the frame. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, pulls him back after his staged death, and puts him under Brainiac. The result is colder, sharper, and darker than anything those earlier games telegraphed. 5 years after the Nightfall Protocol, Brainiac enslaves the League. Gotham's Guardian becomes a weapon against the innocent people he swore to protect. Against his will, civilians are dead by his hand, and Robin is murdered off-screen. That's enough for Amanda Waller. She points Task Force X at the League and orders them to kill with no restriction. On the ground, the squad feels what a ruthless Batman looks like.
Don't sweat it. Batman doesn't kill people.
He stalks, splits the team, and moves like the old days with no restraint. He escapes with the Flash, then returns later, wrapped in a fear-gas nightmare trick that the squad breaks through.
Brainiac told me to preserve your bodies, but I'm going to enjoy destroying your minds.
They corner him on a quiet bench where he taunts them. In a scene so unexpected, Harley answers with a single bullet, killing Batman without any resistance. It's shocking, but the truth comes out later in a DLC, which reveals that Batman was a clone, leaving the real one still imprisoned with Brainiac. So what's your favorite adaptation of the evil Batman? Let me know in the comments. And if you love these evolutions, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks again to my patrons, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.